the 2022 Yamaha R9. Here's 5 reasons why I think it's coming and why Yamaha need to make it. So the first reason, there is a big gap between the R7 and the R1. So the R7 when it comes is going to make around 100-ish horsepower, if that, maybe 70. R1's what, 150, 160 at the wheel now, maybe a little bit more. So what sits in that middle gap? It's a big old jump from an R7 to an R1. An R9 sits in that gap really well, gives riders a clear progression from an R125 to an R3 to an R7 to an R9, then on to the R1. So from Yamaha's perspective, it makes absolute total sense to make it. Reason number 2, the R6 is gone. There is no more R6 at all, so that leaves a 110, 115-ish horsepower sports bike for the road or for the track or whatever. That gap's been left in Yamaha's lineup, so what they're likely to fill it with. The 600s have been proven to be very difficult to make Euro 5 compliant. The ZX6 and the R6 have both been stopped because they can't be made Euro 5 compliant. So again, the R9 fits in that gap perfectly and can be made Euro 5 compliant. World Supersport racing rules are being changed for next year to allow in larger bikes. So it won't be 600cc 4s, 675 triples or 750 twins. It's going to go to around 950,000cc twins, 750-ish, 800-ish cc triples, and I'm not sure what the 4-cylinder offering is going to look like, so there's going to be some work around balance of performance like they do with Supersport 300. So in Supersport 300 you can run a 390 or a 300cc twin, or there's a few different options, or a 400cc twin in the case of the Kawasaki. So the Supersport class is going to change in terms of racing next year, and if a 900cc triple is allowed with different level of tuning compared to the 800s or whatever, that's another good reason why you might see one next year. The fourth reason is Yamaha have filed the patent to use the R9 name across Europe, meaning only they can use it. And I'm always pretty wary of using patents as a guide of what's going to happen, because sometimes manufacturers will just submit patents or trademarks to cover themselves, or stop other manufacturers using it, or something to use a long way in the future. But the R9 seems pretty convenient, so it'd be interesting to see if it's going to come next year, but I'd say it's another strong sign, along with all the others, that it's going to be coming in 2022. And the fifth reason, 5, is that Yamaha already have the relevant platform to make it a really good thing. People have been asking for it for a long time. They've just revamped the MT-09 to make that Euro 5 compliant. So that bike is sort of ready to go in that capacity. Euro 5 compliant, fully ready to go. So again, an R9 is logical with like a couple of little tweaks here and there, a little bit more top end power. It's just logical. So Yamaha, hurry up and make it, mainly because if you do make it, I'll buy one. You've already sold one. So Yamaha, if you're watching this, get it made. I'll buy one. You've sold one unit already. Boom. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think this is going to happen.